What's up guys, Humphrey here. Thanks for coming back to my YouTube channel. Today we're talking about your lifetime earning potential and how much you can actually make in a single lifetime just by working an hourly wage. So this paper represents your life, and I'm going to draw a timeline real quick on your life. And from the age of 0 to 18 you're in school, and from 18 to 21 you're in college. Now you're going to start your working life and work about 45 years, and so the real question becomes, out of these 45 years of work, how can we make the best use of our time to make the most amount? So firstly, how do we increase lifetime earning potential? Well, one of the ways is to get more educated. Whether that be a trade skill such as welding, carpentry, or maybe you're a dental hygienist or an air traffic controller, or perhaps it's getting a master's in a certain field, having more education will increase your lifetime earning potential. For example, air traffic controllers with a 2-year program will make, on average, a salary of over $124,000 a year, which is pretty great. Now, when it personally comes to education, I totally get it. Some degrees don't mean anything, and I definitely understand that. Or sometimes you can get an extra education and maybe not get the job that you might want. However, what I've noticed is, in most cases, employers love to see that you have education on your resume. And I think the reason is not so much the education part, but the fact that you actually committed to a 2 or a 4-year institution and you followed all the way through shows me that as an employee, you'll be reliable and you'll be consistent and you'll be there because you've done it before. I think education is one of the ways that employers definitely pre-qualify you just to make sure that you have what it takes to actually do the job and to do it reliably for a while. Touching on this point, I think consistency is also something that can increase your lifetime earning potential. Just being consistent in the way that you educate yourself or being consistent in the ways you pick up new skills can also increase your lifetime earning potential. The second thing that I think everyone can do to increase their lifetime earning potential is to learn to deal with people and get management experience. I understand that some of you may be introverted, but one of the best ways to actually learn a lot and to progress in your career is to manage tasks and manage people and manage those priorities effectively. Typically, if you're really good at what you do, you can get some management experience just by asking, your superior or whoever you're working for, hey, is there any opportunity for advancement, perhaps any opportunity to manage other people or to teach other people certain types of skills. So on the screen right now, I'm going to put up my favorite article on how to get management experience when you don't have any. And I'll link this in the description below so that you guys can check it out. They have 5 or so different tips that you can kind of leverage in your own workplace to try to get more management experience if you want that. One of my favorite points in this article is actually to train, teach, and mentor others. And so if you're at work and you have, say, experience in, quality assurance, or maybe you're really good at customer support, you can train a new employee that doesn't really know any of that, all the learnings that you have, so that you could, one, grow as a leader and a manager, and they can also grow in the organization as well. Now, in my experience, if you teach something, you really become the master of that domain, and being that teacher or that person that the organization looks to actually teach and guide others is going to be really valuable and going to increase your lifetime earning potential by a lot. So the third thing that you can do to improve your lifetime earning potential is to make more efficient use of your time, either during work or outside of work. For example, while at work, try to ask questions and figure out what would it take to get better at your job and to actually move up to that next step. Perhaps have a talk with your manager, say, hey, I want to make it to the next step. What does it take? What are the steps that I need to hit to get there? And actually document these things together so that when you do eventually hit those steps, that you are guaranteed that next level. Outside of work, you can build skills that will really help your professional career later, such as like learning to code, maybe you're learning a new database system, maybe you're just learning a new skill or a trade skill that can help you, advance your career in other ways later. Either way, the deeper the domain expertise you have in something, the more likely you're going to be paid a little bit more. I want to give you guys an example. While I was working for a video game company as a monetization analyst, I wanted to figure out how to develop an app, and I also wanted to figure out how to be an entrepreneur in the future. So what I did in my side time was I hired a developer from overseas to try to develop a new budgeting app for myself. Personally, I use a spending tracker. I'll link it up here in the video. But I wanted to create my own one, and I was going to call it Budget Life. And so what I did was I hired this I think he was like a Romanian developer, and I paid him like $1,500 to $2,000 for the entire project. But as a result, I learned so much. Like, I had to wireframe the entire app. I did it on a piece of paper at first, and then I later translated it to some software online that I then sent to him. I had to learn how to quality assurance QA my own product. I had to learn how to like communicate to a developer really clearly and concisely. So, you know, even though I spent $1,500 or $2,000 developing this app on the side, what I learned in that time was so valuable, because then I could take that same set of parameters or skills that I learned from doing that and translate it to other parts of my life and other parts of my career to help me earn more in the future. Before we move on, make sure you're subscribed to me and actually like the video, because if you like the video, it really helps the YouTube algorithm and somehow I get more exposure. So if you could do that, that'd be awesome. The fourth tip I have for you guys to increase your lifetime earning potential is to find something with scale and leverage. The last thing you really want to be doing when you're trying to hit it out of the park is to trade your time for money. So if you really want to increase your lifetime like top end potential, you need to find something with scale and leverage. And what I mean by that is perhaps you join a company and it has the potential to scale to like a $1, $2, $5, $10 billion valuation, and maybe you own a really small piece of that chunk. That's going to pay you out way higher return in the long run than, say, working hourly for somebody making $200 an hour. So you want to find things that can kind of pay you a percentage on a completed deal, for example, or pay you a percentage on a liquidation event such as a startup sale or a startup acquisition. Now I know I'm talking about this like it's like really easy to just make $200 an hour or find something that pays you by a percentage, but you know the truth is that it's really hard. You have to be in the right place at the right time, and you have to have a lot of domain expertise in whatever you're trying to get into. Like if I were trying to do it myself, I'd try to become the best at one thing, like let's say digital marketing, or perhaps it's monetization of new users. I would try to be the best at that one thing and then find a group of people that I can work with where I am known to be that guy, and I can also, you know, learn other skills obviously on the way. But in order to get a position like that, you kind of have to get a little bit lucky. You have to know the right people. You have to be in that space already and just keep developing relationships, because the more relationships you have, the more opportunities are going to come to you, and hopefully you'll be known in your community as that guy or that woman who can just really hit it out of the park with a certain skill. So guys, that was the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. So again, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to come out with more content. So if you have any ideas, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. That's it. So have a good day. Thanks.